Hello, this is Bill Steffen, and happy weekend. Guess what? It's 2 months until Christmas. Can you believe that? By then, average high temperatures will be in the low to mid 30s here, and we have about a 57% chance of a white Christmas here in Grand Rapids if you look over the years. So it's about a 50-50 proposition, a little bit higher over toward Lake Michigan, and a little bit less when you get over to the what we call the snow desert, which is over toward Mount Pleasant and Alma. That area gets the least amount of snow here in our area. Well, let's talk about weather here for a little bit. First of all, something interesting to start you off with. Look at the snow here. This is at Logan Pass in Glacier National Park. And we're still considering the possibility that there could be a snowflake or two in the air late next week. The afternoon discussion from the National Weather Service says strong cold advection across the Great Lakes with the chance of rain and snow showers by next weekend. That's what the National Weather Service says. By the way, if you were hearing a little bit of kind of growling in the background, that was one of the cats. That was Ellie Lou, and that's how she purrs. I was sitting here petting her, and she's kind of taken off here now. But look at the snow there. I was there a couple of years ago, and there was snow on the ground up there in the middle of summer. So it's an interesting place to be. That is Logan Pass on the Going to the Sun highway that's there in Glacier. All right, enough of snow here for a while. Let's take a look at some high temperatures across the area here. Once again, Mount Pleasant inland is the warmest place here in West Michigan at 53 degrees. Ionia at 52, Muskegon, Fremont, Leadington 51, Grand Rapids stopped at 50. Average high temperatures are mid to upper 50s, so that was a cool day for us here. Battle Creek at 49, and note down on the bottom the pier temperatures at South Haven, Holland, and also at the Muskegon Pier. And I was looking at the channel. The picture right there shows the one boat I found that was going out. It almost looks like a pleasure craft. That's not the best of days, but at least the waves were down. And it should be a very calm day. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on. Calm day here tomorrow. So if you're interested in some cool weather boating, I guess this Saturday here is going to be a good day for you. Okay, sunrise and sunset time. Sunrise now 8:08, sunset at 6:44. The sun is rising and setting a little bit farther south now, and we're down to 10 hours and 36 minutes of daylight. Average low temperature is now dipped below 40 to 39. That's what an average night is for this time of year. Averages or records for the day, we have never made it to 80 on this date. The warmest 78th in that very warm year of 2012. If you remember that year, we had a huge heat wave in March. All the blossoms came out too soon and then frosted out in April. And we had a huge heat wave in the summer. We had a high one day of 104 degrees here in Grand Rapids. And again, that was back in 2012. A rather dark shot as we were approaching sunset there shows another boat over there by the Muskegon Great Lakes Environmental Research Lab. So let's move on, take a look at the next slide here, our lakeshore forecast. That's the way the lake looked today, right around, early afternoon. The waves coming down a little bit, but you can see a few little white caps breaking out there. Not many people on the beach, of course. It should be a very calm day today. We're expecting southeast to east winds, 5 to 10 knots, probably closer to the 5 knots here most of the day. Waves should only be running about 6 inches right at the shore. And you can see the buoy temperatures there, Reeds Lake down now to 59. Taking a look at what we have ahead here for us, a dry weekend shaping up Saturday and Sunday. Skies should be at least partly sunny, could be mostly sunny at times. Cool pattern right through this coming week with temperatures most days only in the low to mid 50s. And again, we'll emphasize the light winds we expect today. Well, we got a message for you right now from Ace Hardware. We'll be back to talk about a huge hurricane headed toward Jamaica.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Here's a severe weather map from Friday, and it's pretty much centered right around Fort Stockton, Texas, in West Texas. They had a pretty good thunderstorm there. There were 8 severe weather reports, no tornadoes, 4 severe hail reports, one of them being golf ball size hail at Fort Stockton, and a 66-mile-an-hour wind gust at Odessa, Texas. All right, the map shows that severe weather today will rain from Texas, southeast Texas, into Louisiana, places like Houston, Beaumont, Port Arthur, Lake Charles, Louisiana. Those are the places to see severe weather. And look at the state of Oregon. Almost the entire state has, it's only a marginal risk here. It's not a slight risk, it's a marginal risk, but there could be an isolated severe thunderstorm or two going across the state of Oregon. You don't see that too often. And there could be a thunder shower down near Miami, but other than that, the rest of the country is pretty clear. And then for Sunday, this activity shifts east. We're down to a marginal outlook right now, and that's for much of Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southwest Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle. So places like Pensacola, New Orleans, Mobile could see a heavy thunderstorm here during the day on Sunday. On we go to talk about rainfall across the area. And look at all the rain in the southern United States. Wow, that's a lot. A lot of shower and thunderstorm activity, not much in the way of severe weather. The yellow indicates we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain there. Orange is over 2 inches. And this is again over a 3-day period. And look at the rain on the East Coast, or excuse me, on the West Coast, from Northern California up through Portland and into the Seattle area. They're expecting some significant rains to fall there. In the Great Lakes, not much going on. No rain expected here in Grand Rapids over the next 3 days. All right, we move on and take a look at the tropics. And this is really turning out to be a story. Hurricane Melissa, actually is still a tropical storm, but it will be a hurricane later today, is moving at 2 miles an hour. 2 miles an hour. You could walk that fast, okay? It's kind of drifting to the west, and it will eventually move west and then turn to the north and then northeast. It may go right over Jamaica, and it may produce a near record storm surge up into Kingston. So if you have an interest in Jamaica, eastern Cuba, I wouldn't imagine there'd be too much interest there, but we do have some people that have Cuban ancestry, and keep an eye on that eastern part of the island. And also the peninsula that juts out from southwest Haiti could see some very significant rainfall. Let's take a look at the track map for Melissa and show you where that's headed. You can see it kind of turns to the northeast. It's going to miss the United States. Don't have to worry here. It will likely move through some of the lesser populated Bahama Islands and may hit Bermuda. So those are the areas to watch out. This will probably intensify quickly into a major hurricane, perhaps even Category 5. It's a possibility. And then weaken just a bit as it crosses Jamaica, but producing some very heavy rains. In fact, the next map I have to show you is rainfall expected with Hurricane Melissa. And that magenta area there is areas that could see over 20 inches of rain. Now, 20 inches of snow would be bad enough, but 20 inches of rain, there's no place to put it. So there could be some real problems there. And that's for Jamaica, the western tip of that peninsula in Haiti. Could see some very significant rain, and eastern Cuba. So those are the areas to watch out for. And those are, the map here shows a 4-day rainfall total. All right, and that's the only hurricane in the Atlantic area. In the Eastern Pacific, we have Tropical Depression 18E. We do expect this to become Tropical Storm Sonia, but it's not going to amount to much. It will kind of drift to the west as a tropical storm, then fade back to being a depression, and then probably be much of nothing by the time it comes close to the Hawaiian Islands. They'll get a few clouds and maybe a shower, and that's about it. As we head to the western Pacific Ocean, you'll find that there are a couple of tropical depressions in the Indian Ocean and nothing in the Pacific Ocean. Usually it's just the other way around. You can see Chengi, which is a pretty interesting spiral storm, which is north of Madagascar. It will weaken. It doesn't have too terribly strong winds to it, but it does have some significant rain. and it will be drifting toward the east coast of Africa around Dar es Salaam. So we'll keep an eye on that. Back to our weather here for just a little bit. Today's forecast 53 degrees, low temperature at 33, some frost here in the early morning. If you're getting up early this Saturday, might have to scrape some frost off the car windshield. Humidity 60% in the afternoon, winds east to southeast, but only at 5 miles an hour. So all in all, it should be a pretty nice day. Here's a look at high temperatures across the area today. We're going for low 50s here in Grand Rapids. I expect temperatures at the lakeshore with a very light east wind to be about the same as inland areas. Chicago gets 54, Gaylord 48, but not a lot of variation here one way or another. Up in the UP, we got the blue counties there that are in the 40s, but all in all, not a bad day here. Colors pretty much peaking across much of northern lower Michigan, and very good around our area here. So get out and enjoy that. Grab a pumpkin, grab some fresh Michigan apples, and enjoy your Saturday. Here's a look at Sunday. About the same story. We'll be a couple degrees warmer on Sunday, back up into the mid 50s here. Could come close to 60 down in Chicago and Gary, Indiana. Up in the UP, temperatures are a bit warmer. They make it back up into the low to mid 50s there. So Sunday should be a nice day. We got 2 good days coming back to back here for the weekend. 5-day forecast looks like this. We're going to go partly sunny across the board, but it may be mostly sunny. Best days for seeing mostly sunny conditions would be Sunday and Monday, but even today should be a nice day. While there is a chance of frost today, and probably the same story here Sunday and Monday, especially the outlying areas, the areas that are in valleys with sandy soil tend to pick up frost ahead of the higher elevations. But really not much variation in temperature. We're 53 to 56 right on through the period. And the long-range outlook, cool in the east, warm in the central and western parts of the United States for the period November 1 through 7, first week of November. Temperatures are generally in the low 50s here by November 5, 6 or so in Grand Rapids. And the outlook for precipitation, dry weather expected across much of the south, the Midwest, and the southwest, with rain continuing to push into Seattle, Portland, and New England remains a little bit on the damp and wet side as well. But all in all, not a bad start to the month of November. Don't see any big storms with November gales coming our way, at least during the first week of the month. Well, what's in your vehicle? We talk a lot about winter emergency kits, and I've been stuck a couple of times driving around during snowstorms, and I have a little bit of an emergency kit that I keep. I've got to kind of make sure that's all refreshed and ready to go. Some of the things the state police say you should have, of course, an ice scraper and snow brush, some kitty litter. We have enough of that around here, that's for sure. Blankets, flashlight, first aid kit, Band-Aids especially. Those are what I've used more than anything. Your phone charger, that's something new in the last 40, 50 years here you need. Of course, mittens. Mittens work better to keep your hands warm than gloves. Some water to drink, non-perishable food items, extra medication if you are on that, portable phone, and again, your charger. Thanks to Mike Vandenbosch for contributing to this slide. So get you all set, ready to go for that. And that should be ready to go by mid-November for sure here, the way the pattern looks. All right, what's up next? October 25, 2001, Windows XP was released. And what was your first computer operating system? You know, my history with computers, of course, we started with without computers on TV. We had, in fact, I can remember as a kid having a rotary phone. That's how far we've come. But I remember having the state map and the national map and a box of magic markers. And I would draw the cold fronts on and a few temperatures, and you could draw your map in 10 minutes. You'd have all that you needed. But you had to fill like 3 minutes with just the state map and the national map. So you're constantly pointing out the temperature in Alpena is 34 degrees. In Gaylord now we have 35. So we did that. We did some innovative stuff. We really did. I think we were the first station that really tried to put satellite pictures on the air. We got a hold of Dr. Ralph Taggart at Michigan State, and NASA was just sending these satellite photos down to Earth. And we contacted NASA and said, would you mind if we intercepted your feed and used some of your pictures on the air? And we wound up getting permission to do that. It was pretty interesting how that all worked out. In 1983, I remember it when we first got computer graphics for doing weather, and you had an electric pen, and you had to fill if you were drawing a blob over the country, you had to individually fill every state. So there was there was some time involved in that. But it was interesting. And I remember when I first got my personal computer, and I remember one thing that kind of shocked me is you could have more than one window open at the same time. And it wasn't long before during severe weather, I would have like 20 windows open. And of course, that would kind of clog up the computer. But very interesting. We come a long way. We really have. And boy, hasn't Microsoft and Bill Gates made a lot of money off of Windows and everything else. All right, let's move on and see what else we have here. Something else interesting about this date. We have a couple of artists having birthdays today. Bizet, known for the opera Carmen and other works of art, and Pablo Picasso in 1861, known for his Cubist paintings. And of course, he's got on the artist beret there, everything. So we salute them and their artist work, which lives on well after their death, what they produced here for us. Okay, let's go on to the next slide here. On October 25, 1864, John Francis Blank was born. I don't know what that's so far. Alongside his brother Horace Elgin, he would co-found their namesake motor company in Detroit. Okay, now I'm getting an idea. You can drive a Diplomat to Monaco to watch the Daytona 500, but be careful of Vipers and Chargers. Oh, muscle cars. I remember the old Dodge Chargers, and the answer to the question here is Dodge, the Dodge brothers, the early pioneers of the automobile industry, and their company lives on. Different name, but it is living on, and they produced some great cars over the years. They really did. Okay, on we go. Let's see what we got for pictures to share with everybody here from daughter number 3. A rare photo submission follow-up, October 25, 1868. And Uspensky, is that how that would be pronounced? I probably should have looked that up. Or Uspensky Cathedral was inaugurated, so that was right after the Civil War. Daughter number 3's Finland trip, October 23 show. So you can look that up and see another picture of the cathedral here. Michelle and her husband are on a trip, and last I heard they were in Finland. I don't know where they're going next, but they don't know where they were going to go all the way around the world. They're going to wind up in Bangkok and Singapore and go in that direction. But they wound up going to Greece and Turkey, and then going straight north up to Helsinki, Finland, where she said it was really cold and she needed to stop at a thrift store and buy a coat. So that was interesting. Okay, let's go on here. Another beautiful picture. I had mentioned before that the weather in Helsinki is fairly similar to Grand Rapids. They get cold outbreaks in the wintertime. We are certainly on the cold side in Grand Rapids relative to our latitude. I mean, if you go due east from Grand Rapids, you wind up in Spain where it's in the 50s and sunny during the winter. But here in Parvu, that looks kind of like what you might find in Grand Rapids. The buildings might look just a little bit different. They do have some buoys there across the river, so I don't know what that's all about. Hope it's not to keep out the Asian carp. But you can see some trees have leaves on, some trees don't at this point in time, which is pretty similar to what we have around here. I think we have another picture from Finland to share with you. And again, this is down by the water. Some of the boats are still in the water, haven't been pulled yet for the winter. But you can see that's that. I don't know if that's along the river or if that's a separate lake. There are many lakes in the Scandinavian countries, and really some beautiful places to be. So thanks, Michelle, for that. Do we have any more from Finland? We might have. Oh, this is from Randy Mulder. Boy, that's a beautiful picture. Now, isn't that just a perfect fall shot here with the leaves changing color and the blue water reflecting that bright blue of the sky? You can see the big red lighthouse over there on the south side of the channel. And you're in Holland State Park, but the beach is straight ahead and to the right just a little bit. But beautiful picture there, Randy. Thanks for passing that along. And up next, we have a picture from John Kimball. This is east of Little Traverse Bay. Little Traverse Bay is north of Big Traverse Bay, which has the two arms. Little Traverse Bay is up toward Pelston, Petoskey, Harbor Springs. And the highest point of Nub Snob Ski Resort. And you look out and you can see all the color there, which is looking pretty good. If you're on a fall color tour this weekend, you should be seeing some great color in northern lower Michigan. Okay, let's go on to the next one. John Scully, more pictures of the gulls there. We're looking straight at the sun, which is at solar noon. The sun is at an angle of about 37 degrees right now. At the summer solstice, it's at about 70 degrees. So the sun is really getting down closer to the horizon. And of course, doesn't give us anywhere near as much energy as it does during the summer. And we have a nice little cloud over there. I mentioned before that the gulls seem to do very well here in fall. They have plenty of food to eat, and some of them stick around as long as they can. Even sometimes during the winter, you'll find the gulls where there's open water and where they can find something to eat. And we have one more picture maybe from John Doherty. Oh, that's a pretty picture. Look at the rainbow we have there. Red on the outside, then orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and indigo. 7 colors of the rainbow, the 7 colors of sunlight. And that's probably a light shower there. You can see underneath it, but it is raining, and you can tell that because of the rainbow there. I think, can you hear the cat in the background? Now, as soon as I be quiet, then it's going to be quiet. It's waiting for me to get done, so I'll play with it a little bit more here. We'll do that. But John, thank you so much for that picture. And thanks to all of you that send pictures into us, Bill at billsteffen.com. And also grow my YouTube channel by subscribing. It's at BillSteffen616. Well, I hope all of you have a perfect weekend. Get out and enjoy the beautiful weather here. I may wind up at the zoo on this Saturday. And so if you see me, say hi. And I may also wind up going to a party to watch the Michigan State game. You're wondering why I don't watch my alma mater, Wisconsin, Oregon. I think Oregon is a 32-point favorite the last I checked. So not looking for much there. But Michigan State, it could be closer than you think. We'll see. But have yourself a great day, and thanks for watching till the end.